Hey guys, welcome to an Asbista Financial Services update. Thought I'd come out to you with the recent official cash rate reduction by the Reserve Bank. So in case you weren't aware, the official cash rate has dropped from 1.75% down to 1.5%. And that's on the back of less demand for New Zealand goods on a global basis, reduced population growth, house prices softening a little bit, which is tempering household spending, and some low business sentiment out there. So the Reserve Bank wants to keep things moving, and so they've reduced the official cash rate to help achieve that. However, there is some people out there that are a bit puzzled by the lack of reduction in interest rates by the banks. And I guess that's why I've come out to you today, is just to discuss that a little. So the official cash rate is the rate that really the Reserve Bank lends money out on a short-term basis. So for the floating rate, that has an impact on that, and some shorter-term rates, but doesn't really have an impact on longer-term rates. Why? Because New Zealanders are typically terrible savers, and so the banks have to go offshore to buy that longer-term money to lend on to households, because there's just not enough of it in New Zealand. So that's why you haven't seen a flow through to the longer-term interest rates, and why you haven't really seen it flow through to any of the shorter term rates either. I mean, I think the banks were anticipating this drop, and so had already factored in a reduction. There's some speculation out there as well that the official cash rate will drop even further. I went to a CoreLogic presentation today, and they talked about it going down to 1.25%, and speculation from ANZ that it may go as low as 1%. Will that affect interest rates? I don't think so. There's something else that you need to be aware of, that to factor in, is that the Reserve Bank is also going to ask the banks to hold more capital, which capital's flash word for more money, to, I guess, be prepared for a 1 in 200 year event that may occur in terms of a financial crisis. Not that they're saying that they're anticipating one, but it's just getting the banks ready and prepared for one. This will mean to the banks that, well, I guess the comparison is, if you ask a retail shop or a restaurant or anything that holds stock, they have to hold more stock, they can't sell it, so they can't make as much profit. So effectively, the Reserve Bank's asking the banks to hold more stock, not sell it, and therefore the banks can't make as much money because they're having to hold more stock. So what you're going to see there is that flow through in the margins of the banks. They'll be wanting to recover some of that lost opportunity. And so what you might see is the official cash rate come down to offset that lost opportunity from the banks. So will we see interest rates coming down in the future? Well, I mean, get your crystal ball out, I guess. But I think probably no, because you're going to have the official cash rate coming down, and the cost of having to hold funds going up, which will potentially offset each other. So the best time to buy money is pretty much now, in my view, and I think in a few others' view as well. So if you're holding off, waiting to get into property because you think interest rates are going to come down, I don't think it's worth it. You may as well look at what opportunities are out there for you now. On the flip side as well, you've got really low interest rates for investors, term deposit holders. I think, if they've been holding off thinking that interest rates are going to go back up again, well, I think this is a signal that no, they're not for the not too distant future. So I think if you're wanting to get better return on your investment and improve your lifestyle options, then you've got to look at alternatives for your funds. to get better growth and try and outpace inflation. Any questions? Drop me a line. Thanks, guys.